What up? Looks like we're back once again. Yeah. You know, I posted a video like this last time, and I got really good reaction from you. I was a little unsure. I've been doing these videos to kind of test if I want to do a podcast or if I want to do like a video series. So I think I'm going to do it. So I'm going to start off by just doing a series about my songs because I'm about to release an album. You'll find out more about that album soon. But before I get into that, man, I kind of want to I kind of want to talk about a question that I was asked recently. I was asked by one of my listeners that have been listening to my music for a long time. They asked me, why am I still making music? Why am I still making music? That was a really good question. I started writing when I was 10 years old. I was in anger management and in therapy, and they made me write down my feelings and stuff like that. I got bored of it and I started writing. I didn't know I was making raps or poems then, but I was just doing it because I got bored of constantly writing. When I turned 16, I performed a song that ended up on local television in my city. Then by the time I was 21, I had put out my first album. By the time I was 23, I signed a record deal. By the time I was 30, I had released my first chart-topping album, and it just kept going from there, you know? So the question is, why do I still do it? I think when I first started doing it, I really loved being with my homeboys and my friends, making something together. That was a lot of fun for me. But I also loved being able to express myself in that medium of writing a song that I don't think I was able to do really well through like just talking or communicating. That's kind of where it started. Then I started to really grow and evolve in my faith and my belief in Jesus. Then I started to want to make songs for him. So I did that for a season. Then I started to want to do both. I wanted to make songs about my life and my experiences, about like things I was dealing with, things I saw other people that they were dealing with. But then I also wanted to talk about Jesus too. So that kind of became like, I bridged that gap and started making music for that reason. And that was around when I was 21. Then I hit like 22, 23, kind of got popular. And I was like, man, honestly, I just want to get rich. So I started making music because I wanted to get popping. I wanted people to like me. I wanted to be popular. And I wanted to make money. I wanted to make it my job. And it was like that from when I was like probably like 22 to like 25. I was still Christian in my belief. I was still trying to practice the ways of Jesus, but my why for making music, I would tell people I did it for God, but really I was doing it because I wanted to make money and be popping, just to be honest. It really wasn't until after my third album, until I became a pastor, honestly, when I was around like 27 or 28, when I was like, all right, I really need to kind of like decide, am I really gonna do God things for God, or am I gonna pretend to do God things when I'm really trying to do it for myself? So by the time I turned like 28, I kind of got serious again with my faith, and at that same time I was like a pastor too, same time I was about to have a baby too, same time I was about to get married too, all kind of happened at the same time. So I got really, really serious about my faith, about my family, about being a father, about being a husband. So honestly, it hasn't even been to really until I turned 30 when I wrote my fourth album, where in that season, why I started making music again was because I wanted to help people. I wanted to help people know God more, and I wanted to be honest about my faith and where I was at. So I wrote an album about that. Then that got popping. I moved around a little bit, ended up TV, all that. Then my fifth album, I just released that like 2 years ago or a year and a half ago. That went #1 on iTunes. My why then was I wanted to write an album about my family. I wanted to dedicate an album to my family and to my season, into the season I was in, and to my city. And the reason why I wanted to do it was because I wanted God to know that I was grateful. I wanted God to know that I was grateful that He put me through the crucible of growing into a better man, into a better human being, into a better husband, into a better dad, and so on. I was just grateful. So I wrote that album in dedication to God, but also in dedication to family. So in this season of my life, why am I still writing music? Frankly, because I just want God to know I love Him. I want God to know I love Him, and I want God to know I'm really grateful for the dark times He allowed me to go through the bad times He allowed me to go through the good times He allowed me to go through. And I want to use this music as a way to celebrate what God has done for me. So the truth is, the why has always changed according to the seasons of my life as to why I write music. But ultimately, I'm writing music because I just need to. I just need to write songs to be in a healthy place. For some reason, it allows me to connect with God in ways that like prayer doesn't for me, in ways that like going to church doesn't for me, in ways that preaching about and talking about God doesn't for me. So I write music because I really need to connect with God and reconnect with myself. For some reason, like when I write songs, I say things in those avenues that I don't say to other people or to myself. So it allows me to see myself too, and it allows God to work on me to make me a better human being. So, man, maybe by the time I turn 40, my why is gonna be different. You know what I'm saying? But and maybe by the time I put out my 10th album, my why is gonna be different. But I'm getting ready to put out my 6th album, and that's just the reason why. And it'll probably change again. So, but let me encourage you with this, man. You might be in a season of your life where you're doing things and people may be questioning, why are you doing those things? I want to encourage you to be free with how complex it may be. It may not be picture perfect. It may not be pretty. It may not be the answer someone was looking for. Just embrace the fact that you're complex, that you're growing, and that you're evolving, and that you don't have to please people with the right answer. I know that I've experienced both ends, where I tried to please people with the right answer, or I tried to coerce people into giving me an answer I wanted to hear. But I want to set you free from that and just follow God and allow it to be complex. So that's what I'm doing. So, well, until we meet again, I will see you soon. And just remember, you're going to be better than you was. I promise you. Peace.